Hi everyone, this is Melissa Neely Nicolini, and today I am going to be arguing that about should law enforcement have all access to business records, uh, and that may be considered private by most people. While the FBI dropped its lawsuit against Apple over a phone owned by one of the San Bernardino terrorist attackers, the lawsuit remains in motion in a New York meth drug dealer case. The FBI is trying to get Apple to provide technical help that would allow the FBI to unlock the phone in the New York meth drug dealer case. Apple claims the government is trying to set a broad precedent that would require tech companies to crack their own security protections to aid in law enforcement investigations. FBI Director James Comey has said publicly, "I'm hoping that we can somehow get to a place where we can have a sensible solution or a set of solutions that doesn't involve hacking and doesn't involve spending tons of money that isn't scalable." Comey did say that they spent about $1 million trying to get the San Bernardino terrorist attacker's phone unlocked, and that is what he means by the money isn't scalable. And what they want is for Apple to provide a back door for the FBI so that they can get into any of their products at any time. I will argue in this presentation that that is unethical for the government to require all tech companies to provide technical assistance whenever they are asked by law enforcement, or to put in a back door to their products. What does the law say? The law concerning this case is the Omnibus Crime Control and Safe Streets Act of 1968, or the Wiretap Act, which deals with surveillance of U.S. citizens and those living in the U.S. by law enforcement. In other words, domestic surveillance by domestic law enforcement. And you don't need warrants for certain types of surveillance, but they do need a warrant to collect most records. The other law that is in this case is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978, which deals with surveillance of non-citizens representing a foreign power or those U.S. citizens who may be deemed agents of a foreign power, in other words, spies. Warrants are needed in order to have the surveillance begin. A recent court case that could affect the outcome of the Apple case is U.S. versus Quartavius Davis. In that case, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said that the law enforcement does not need a warrant to get information from a third party, like cell phone records, and that Davis had no right to privacy around the information held by a third party. Now, two judges dissented in that case, and they were concerned that this ruling could lead to opening up the door to the FBI being allowed to do exactly what it's asking and trying to get Apple to accomplish. They want a backdoor. They warn that such an expansive application of the third-party doctrine would allow the government warrantless access to not only where we are at any given time, but also to whom we send emails, our search engine, histories, our online dating and shopping records, and by logical extension, our entire online personas. So looking at this from an ethical evaluation, under the Contractarian approach, there is a right to privacy. So under this approach, opening up information anytime at a request and without a warrant would violate this ethically. Looking at this from a utilitarian approach, the government getting full access to records without a warrant would cause customers to stop using Apple products and could hurt their business. Also, putting in a backdoor for the government could lead to others using it for nefarious purposes. The government could also be harmed because trust in the government could diminish further, causing more unrest in the country. And the government has already proven it can obtain the information on its own. So I think the overall outcome would be negative, therefore making this unethical. So I think the government can make laws and policies which are unethical, and I find that to be the case with the federal government asking Apple for a backdoor policy or an all-access pass to personal information. Thank you.